morning, judges. Good morning, all. We are from Ashok Leyland Foundry New Division. So we are here to present our project on foundry rejection detection. So myself, Panav Bhaskar, team member, and our project leader, Mr. P. Ganesh, and another CFT member is Mr. Muthukumar. So I would like to give some brief idea about our journey. So we registered our foundry division in the year of 1959 as a new foundries, and because of some business difficulties, we merged our foundry to the Ashok Leyland in the year of 2017. So we have a wide market segment. So majorly we are supplying to the commercial vehicles, which is 40% of our casting is we are supplying to commercial vehicles. And among our customers, Ashok Leyland is a major customer. 38% of our casting we are supplying to the Ashok Leyland. Next. So we have two plant locations in Chennai. One is at Ennur, which is 60-year-old plant, and another is at Sriperumbudur, which is 10-year-old plant. So our foundry vision is to be a profitable unit for the Ashok Leyland. So to meet that objective, we have deployed some strategy objectives for this financial year, for particular financial year. Among these strategy objectives, one of the major objective is to decrease the rejection reduction in the foundries. So this project is in line with this particular objective. So value wise, we are producing EF 2000 HB6 cylinder block 35%. So which is a major contributor of among our volumes. So rejection wise also 44% of our overall rejections is happening in this particular block only. So our project is concentrated on this particular block rejection reduction. So this particular block rejection is at 22,090 ppm, and among the overall rejections, blowhole is a defect which is contributing more. So 33%, almost 32% of our rejection only because of this particular defect. So we are concentrating on this project to decrease the blowhole rejection reduction. So blowhole rejection in EF 2000 block is at 6480 ppm, and the right hand side image shown is that defect image, which is a blowhole. Blowhole is a defect like unpassed gases in the final castings is end up as a blowhole. So which is the not acceptable to our customer. So that is the defect background. So as we said, our baseline is 6480 ppm. So to meet our business objective, we targeted our business, our management set the target. We have to achieve the 4500 ppm, which is 30% reduction of current level. So we have taken a target of 4500. And with that particular achievement, we estimated 6.9 lakhs per annum savings for our foundry division. So my teammate will explain a few of the slides.
Left side image shows EF 2000 HV cylinder block. In right side shows left side image is shown right side area is blowhole defect area. We perform chi-square test in chi-square test. To understand the defect diagram in the block with a sample of 100 numbers. From chi-square test, it is evident that defects are more concentrated at a fourth section of cylinder block. We have made Cypop diagram for our foundry process. Based on defect concentrated diagram, core painting, core drying, melting and pouring, and core making are casual process areas for blowhole defects. We have mapped key process input variables from core shop, molding and melting process. Data collection plan is created for KPIP and KPOP to collect critical process inputs. Show above are data for a few Q input where there is no deviation observed against specs.
So as we shown in this slide, we have collected a few data for the KPIVs, and we don't observe much deviation with respect to our specifications. So we want to understand the causes for the blowhole defect, even though we are meeting our specification. So we have conducted our brainstorming session with our CFT members, and we identified 19 probable causes which may create this blowhole defect. Based on our brainstorming session, we found that 4 potential causes may lead to this particular defect. So we are going to validate these 4 potential causes for the further validation. So to validate these 4 potential causes, we have chosen a multiple regression tool, And the residual plot says that data is normal, residuals are normally distributed, so there is no much deviation from the data point of view. And we used hybrid multiple regression, which means moisture, pouring temperature and core paint viscosity are the variable data, and wet core is the discrete data. Wet core means whether it is a S good core or bad core. It's kind of yes or no kind of a data. So we used multiple regression analysis to validate these 4 causes. And from the analysis we could see p value less than 0.05 and r square value at 73.4 in a reduced model. It says that we have found there is enough evidence for the relation between the wet core and the blowhole defect. So for the statistical analysis, to support the statistical analysis, we have done a defect simulation. So we have collected some of the wet cores and we have collected some of the good cores, and we have seen the effect of these wet cores in the final casting. So whenever we are getting the wet cores, so it ended up with a blowhole defect, and whenever we are supplying the good core in the final castings, it ended up with a no blowhole defect in the particular casting. And we have done a literature study based on that, and a literature study also says whenever the excess moisture in the core, there it may lead to the blowhole defect. So from the literature study point of view and from the statistical study point of view, it is evident that the wet core creates this particular blowhole defect. So from out of 4 probable causes, one potential causes we found like wet core is the cause for this particular defect. So after understanding the root cause for the particular defect, we have done again a brainstorming session to create the solution. So based on solution selection matrix, we identified 2 solutions are the best for this particular to address this particular cause. So we went for the central composite design DOE. We went for the central composite design DOE. There is a reason behind it. So our case, the percentage of good core is a output response. That means if we maintain higher oven temperature, higher cycle time, or lower oven temperature or lower cycle time, there may be a problem. So if you maintain lower oven temperature and lower cycle time, there may be not enough time for the heating, so it may be ended as a wet core. If we maintain higher temperature and higher cycle time, so it may ended up as a overbaked core, which is not good for the casting. So to understand the responses, so we went for the central composite design with 2 factors and 2 levels, and total number of runs is 30. So we have done a MSA analysis because the final inspection will be at wet core and good core. So we want to understand first whether among our inspectors, whether they are capable enough to identify the good cores or wet cores. So we went for the MSA analysis. So against the standard, it's saying 98.9% they are identifying grade. So that means inspector all are good enough for the inspecting the wet cores. But we want to know, in every industry, the design of experiments is very costlier thing. So we want to know among the inspector who is the best one to identify the percentage of good cores. So from the MSA analysis, we understand Mr. Thangaraj is the best person to address the percentage of good cores. So for this experimentation, we took this particular inspector for the validation. And these are the experimental reasons. So experimentation is conducted with 120 cores at each setting. 1 means it's a 100% good core in a results. So from the DOE analysis, we understand the p value is less than 0.05 and r square predicted value is 69.3. So from this we got it like we got a relation from the percentage of good cores, and CT means cycle time, and temperature means oven temperature, which is mentioned in the slide. So we found a significant relation between the cycle time and temperature and percentage of good cores. As we explained in while choosing the central composite design, we said the relation is not linear, it is a quadratic relation. So from the counter plot, we can see that the design which we have selected is the good with the right one. So at the middle of the area, we can see the percentage of more good cores. From the DOE optimization, we optimized our parameter for the maximum percentage of good score. It is 40 cycle time, 40 minutes of cycle time, and 235 degrees of temperature, oven temperature for the best good cores, for the maximum percentage of good cores. So after this optimization, our wet cores percentage came down to 0. So we have not found any wet cores after these particular actions. So from the hypothesis test, we validated our results. we can see that after the actions, the defect percentage is significantly reduced. Earlier it was at 0.61 and now it is reduced to 0.36. So, but with this optimization, after DOE optimization, DOE based actions, we were ending up with a quality we have achieved against our targets, but there is a problem with the productivity. Because of we have increased the cycle time, our output is decreased from 172 hours to 129 blocks per hour. So we don't want to lose our productivity also, because the time we have taken the project, the production is ramping up. So considering that, not to lose the productivity, we have done again a solution, we have done a brainstorming session among our CFT members, and we came up with an idea with extending the O1 zone length. Earlier our O1 zone length with a 4 zones with a length of 4.8 meters length. So now we added 2 more extra zones of 1.2 meter each length, and now we increased our O1 length to 7.25 meters. After increasing our O1 length from 4.8 meters to 7.25 meters, we achieved to 189 numbers per block per hour. So with this one, we satisfied our quality and productivity also, because we are going for the ramp up of production. Earlier it was like 172 numbers per hour, now it is increased to 189 numbers per hour. So this is the O1 modified design. Earlier it was like 4 zones, zone 1 to zone 4, and with a length of 4.8 meters. Then we modified the O1 length to 7.25 meters with the extra 2 zones we have added. And rest of the slides my safety member will explain.
After the action, flow voltage is reduced from 6,480 ppm to 3,560 ppm. Based on the action, we have updated our FMEA control plan and SOP in our process. Actions are originally derived to in EF 1800 cylinder block and 79 cylinder block. Blow voltage sustained after the action 3,220 ppm. My baseline target is 4,500 ppm. After the sustenance, our quality rate and plant rate appreciate for the result we have achieved. Annual financial benefit for this project 6.93 lakhs per annum. Total benefit for this project 12.6 lakhs per annum still now. After the action, 2000 cylinder block RFD percentage increased from 95.6% to 98.3%. After the horizontal deployment in EF 79 cylinder block, blow reduction is reduced from 5000 ppm to 3000 ppm. Again, 1000 cylinder block blow rejection is reduced from 12,600 ppm to 8,600 ppm. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good, congratulations
Thank you, sir.
for a very good project you have done, very detailed way. My first question is about this intangible benefits 17 lakhs you said. What is that intangible benefit?
Sir, actually, when we vetted this financial vetting, we were with a low production value. Now our capacity increased based on this O1 zone length. And from the horizontal deployment also, we have made improvement. We have done same exercise with different blocks, and we improved the quality of those blocks also. If consider those blocks rejection and the productivity, we calculated separately as an intangible benefits, and it is coming around 17 lakhs per annum.
But that is also tangible, you know. You really get it, or you just some theoretical?
No, sir. If production is there, if they are going to use that particular furnace for the 179 to 185, so capacity of the furnace has been increased. So,
But you are not using right now, is it that?
When we have done a financial vetting, sir, that time it is there is a no requirement. After that, there is a ramp up. So when we use those particular blocks, we have calculated the savings from the particular block, and we have shown as a.
So it is a potential savings,
Yeah,
which
potential.
when they use it, they will be in a position
Yeah,
to realize that.
realize.
Right now they are not doing because they are not using it.
Yeah, not
So that is what you mean
For
it.
a particular period of time they have used. So we consider that part also in an intangible benefit.
And this 12.69 is really they
Yeah,
are
real
getting
benefits.
this. Okay, good. Now this SIPOC you have done it. What is the advantage of that? How did you do that?
So SIPOC we have done to understand, because we have made a cross-functional team. So in order to understand each and every team member, to understand the overall process and to understand what are the raw materials which is coming and what is the output is going. So to understand overall the process, which will be useful for our brainstorming sessions. So while the brainstorming session, if they understand overall supply chain, then they can understand, then they will add some more inputs to our observation phase. So the particular purpose only we have made a SIPOC.
But the entire process stages you will be doing, you know.
Sorry, sir.
Entire process stages,
Yeah.
right from the raw material charging
So
or.
in high level SIPOC diagram we made to have a overview of our foundry process for each and every team member.
But have you identified any issues? Some stages, there are some
Yes,
issues
sir.
which you need to.
For the supplier, for the raw material perspective, we have identified some of the issues like sand parameters, all those things. But they are maintaining well within a specification. Those parameters also we consider in the probable causes in cause and effect diagram. We validated after whether they are operating as per the specification or not, whether we can control those parameters or not. We validated in the observation analysis phase itself.
Then when you are doing the DOE,
Yes, sir.
that first one, you know, where the cycle time,
Yes, sir.
30 minutes and 40 minutes like that. But what are the factors you consider while designing the levels?
Sir, we have considered theoretically because we know the moisture content, how much we are measuring the moisture content in the sand. So theoretically we know what time is supposed to be there to dry out the particular wet core or particular core, that means. So we know theoretical relationship, and based on our practical experience also we are considering that what should be the range supposed to be. Then we understand that with that particular specification and narrow range also we are getting some rejections. So we have taken those levels on a theoretical basis and practical basis based on our FMEA changes and control changes earlier, and based on those levels we have taken for the level, means we have considered those things as the levels for the lower level and higher level.
Now suppose the cycle time you keep still 30 because you made 40 and then you found productivity less.
Yes.
Then again you have to do increasing that. Anyway, good then for the future purpose is concerned. Suppose you increase the temperature from 235, what will happen?
So if we increase the temperature more than 235, the core will be ended as a overbaked. So
But
it will
did you
not
do any trial you did it?
we have done the trial, sir, but it is because the core itself getting break. Because if you increase the temperature, over the period of after certain temperature, the core strength will get loosened. So if core itself not fit into the mold, so it will break. So we can't use those cores into the castings. So that is why we have understood beyond this temperature is not good for the core perspective. So we have done this trial earlier and we validated during our analysis phase also.
Achha. Okay. Then MSA you did it. I want you to answer if you don't mind. MSA you did it with attribute data. How did you do that? How many operators you have taken or inspectors?
3 after
Ah.
3 operators.
How do you do that?
30 sample, 3 operator, 30 sample. Based on the
You are involved, isn't it, while doing this MSA? Any of you?
Yes, sir, involved, but he will explain it.
Okay, okay, then you explain. Okay, Tamil also you can explain, no problem. But okay, you tell.
Yeah, they
How you have done?
involved in this part.
You can explain.
Yeah, 3 operators we have taken, sir. We have given 30 samples. Out of 13 samples, we have given 15 good cores and 15 bad cores against the standard. We know the things that which is the good core and which is the bad core. We told inspectors to randomly go and check whether which one is a good core, which one is a bad core. Against that, we have plotted attribute agreement analysis, and we see the performance against the standard. We see among the appraisers how it is, how they are doing it. So we found that there is a confidence of 98.9%. They are identifying good as a good and bad as a bad.
How many times you have given?
So we have given 3 times, sir. 3 times we have given to them, and we validated with these 3 things. And we have included those 3 times into the experimentation.
Good.
Thank you, sir.